Hi everyone, welcome back to Aunt Susie's Kitchen. Today we're going to make these beautiful potato and onion pierogies. So let's grab our ingredients and head to the kitchen. The first thing we want to do is cook our onions. Now this is a very important part because that's where most of your flavor is going to come from. So make sure you take your time, cook them on a medium-low heat, and be patient because it's going to take about 10 or 15 minutes. And this is what you are looking for, perfectly caramelized onions. Now just set them aside while they cool and we'll get the rest of the ingredients ready. The potatoes you can prepare ahead, and all you want to do is peel and boil them until they are very soft. And then I'm going to run them through my ricer so that there aren't any lumps. Now I'm just going to go ahead and season them. And at this point, if you wanted to, you could add 2 cups of cheddar cheese along with the onions. But for us, the onions, the potatoes, and the seasoning is just perfect. And now I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of freshly diced chives. These are straight from my garden. Mix everything really well, and don't be afraid if the onions get squished. Make sure you taste it for seasoning, and if you need any more salt at this point, go ahead and add it. And now we're going to my favorite part, and that is making hot water dough. Hot water dough is so simple. All you have here is some flour and a little bit of salt, and I'm going to put that inside my mixer with my dough blade on it. And now through the chute, I'm going to start adding very slowly water that has been boiled, and I have about 2 cups here, and I'm going to add it slowly until I see the dough start to come together. We're just about there. We'll add a little more water, and I think that's good. And now you see how the dough is starting to come together in a ball? That's exactly what we're looking for. So now we're ready to pour it out onto the counter. I have a minimal amount of flour down, and I'm just going to knead it a couple of times, bring it all together. And again, using the smallest amount of flour because we don't want this dough to be too stiff. The consistency right now is absolutely perfect. It's nice and warm. We're going to let it rest for a couple of minutes while we clean up, and then we'll get ready to roll it out. Now this is the same dough that I use when I make dumplings or pot stickers, and it's an absolute breeze to work with. So now we're going to roll it out on a clean floured surface, and we're going to try to cut it into even sections, just so that you can, use the amount that you need. We'll keep the parts that we're not using covered because we don't want it to get a film on it, and that tends to happen if you leave dough out. But with our hands, and again, a minimal amount of flour, use a rolling pin if you like, or a dowel, whatever's more comfortable for you. We're going to roll the dough out. We're going to roll it pretty thin. We don't want to see through it like if we were making pasta, but we do want it a little bit thin, maybe like a pie crust consistency. Now, I actually have a shaper here that I use when I'm making my dumplings, and I'm just going to grab the filling and try one out here. The first couple are always the hardest because you have to get a knack for how much filling you need, how to roll it out, how long to roll it out, and so the first 1 or 2 are always trials. That's okay though, because you can cook those and make them be your testers. And all I'm going to do now is just remove the excess dough, and I'm going to continue the process. You also want to make sure that before you seal them, you put a little bit of water around the outside. It'll help them stick together. And I'm going to keep them in a sheet pan while I'm making the rest of them, and I'll keep a towel over them so they don't get a film on them. I think all in all, this recipe makes about 60 or 70 of them, which is the perfect amount to have some now and freeze some for later. So now we are ready to make some of these. I have a nonstick pan and I'm adding a couple of tablespoons of butter, and I'll add equal amounts of oil that has a high smoke point. The butter will give it good flavor, while the oil will prevent the butter from burning. And we're just going to add a large diced onion. And now's a good time to salt those onions a little bit. And then we're just going to grab the pierogies and we're going to put them in the pan. When we put the pierogies in the pan, we want them to make direct contact with the pan. We don't want them to cook on top of the onions. We want them to get color and we want them to cook evenly. And don't overcrowd the pan. Keep the onions moving so that they cook evenly and make sure that the pierogies don't stick to the bottom of the pan. And then we're going to add the lid to them and let them steam for a little bit while they continue to cook. When the bottoms begin to brown, you want to go ahead and give them a turn and make sure you keep those onions moving as well so that they cook evenly. I like to give the pan a little shake. It ensures that nothing is sticking. And then we're going to put the lid back on and let them finish steaming for a few more minutes while the bottoms continue to brown. Look at that beautiful color. This is exactly what we're looking for, and we are almost there. And this is what you are looking for. These are done. They're perfectly golden on both sides. The onions are caramelized. My house smells amazing, and I cannot wait to put a fork in them. And look at this finished dish. Unbelievable. They look better than anything you could buy in the frozen department at your grocery store. They're even better than ones that I have had out in restaurants. And look how easily they freeze. This is what I mean by make the entire batch, because what you don't eat tonight, you can put in your freezer. And all I do is I put them in a pan like this. I put them in my freezer for 20 minutes. Then I take them out and I put them in a Ziploc bag. And that's it. These will last in your freezer for at least a month, if they last that long. And that's it. I just lay them flat, make sure that they're sealed, and they are good to go. And you can take them from frozen to this in a matter of minutes. So there you have it, another homemade, fast, and delicious recipe. Thanks so much for coming to see us. We hope you get in the kitchen and give this one a try. Go ahead and leave us a comment below. Let us know you were here. Hit the subscribe button. And of course, if you hit that notification button, you'll never miss a video. Thanks again. We hope to see you soon. And don't forget to come back and see us again, because there's always something good cooking in Aunt Susie's kitchen. Ciao for now.